Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Watching the Throne on the Late Night Chat Network, your first stop for pop culture talk. I'm your host, Nico, and I'm here with JT here today. What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
I'm good. So, big episode here to talk about here today. This episode's name was 7. This is episode 4 of season 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And unfortunately, Christina is not with us here today. She took a brief hiatus this week and was unable to kind of record from the location that she was going to be at. So, shout out to her. She will be back with us again for next week's. I mean, it's not, well, it's the worst in the sense I feel like this is the best episode yet, and she's not going to be able to talk about it. But at the same time, at least it's not like the end of the season that she had to miss out on, right? So if anything, it's you still got a couple episodes back with Christina when she gets back here next week. So that'll be good. And we'll have to get her thoughts on this one when she returns. This was a doozy of an episode, bro. I honestly, hands down, my favorite episode. I feel like I'm just becoming like a broken record. Every episode, I feel like I've said it's been better than the last, and it really has. This is easily the best episode so far.
Yeah, it keeps the climax going, man. It dangles you there right at the end. They fit so much in. I was complaining about the time last time and the time frame. I'm not having a great time with the time frame. Like, not the time frame, but the time, 35 minutes episode. Right. Like, it's really sucking balls big time, to be honest with you. But they're leaving you with so much. They give you a bunch of things in there, and it's interesting because, and then they leave you at this cliffhanger at the end always, just like Game of Thrones usually does. But I mean, you're starting to see where everything is starting to fall in line. It's kind of interesting, when you start digging deeper and thinking of stuff that's going on. But this series is, I mean, I thought last episode blew me away, but yeah, this one was this. If I find like the start of the end, if I should say, without even getting into the whole thing yet, but.
Yeah, we're gonna go through and break it down scene by scene. But yeah, the ending in particular, like, there's certain themes that were found in this episode about honor and about being a knight. I love that kind of stuff. Like, that's like my favorite, and we certainly got some of that in Game of Thrones. But there were so many evil people within that world. It was hard to kind of like really highlight that. And even like the moments where it did shine through, like, Jaime's full arc and stuff like that. Like, he really only became honorable and a knight by the end of that series because we had that whole great, like, and arguably he's my favorite character of Game of Thrones because of his character arc, how he started out like a piece of garbage, and then he became like the best character in the show, and he actually cared about people, and like that whole idea of like caring for the weak and trying to help people. Like, I really like that, and I like
the innocent and for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like the weak and the innocent, and Christine actually, she said this to me while we were watching it because she knows how much I like that kind of stuff. She's like, yeah, that's why you like the samurai films and like the Japanese films and stuff, because like honor and like that kind of stuff, like there's a code like there and those like about old warriors and stuff like that, or like in certain like cultures like that I really respect and enjoy, like that stuff. Like I love that shit, like when they talk about that kind of stuff. And that in this episode, like the fact that it ended like that way and this guy really stepped up to the occasion this episode, like was really interesting. Like I like that he really shined through as like a much different character, it seemed like, in this episode. Honestly, like he really grew a lot as a person. I felt like, right? So,
and the funny thing is that to be honest with you, there was a little bit of sadness to it. There was they had it all in that one episode. They had the excitement, they had the sadness, they had the, like you said, the caring of everybody, right? And it's the honor, the It was probably right now in this season. At least I don't know how it's gonna. I'm gonna feel later on in the series.
Well, I figure we're gonna get a lot of action next episode, which we haven't really had much
A lot
of.
of this series is gonna be action, to be honest with you.
Well, we only have 2 episodes left, so I mean,
season, but I mean the series in general. I feel like it's gonna the series in general. I feel like it's gonna be a big, a more of a night style.
Absolutely.
Tale,
I mean,
right?
that's
of the Night of the Seven
Kingdoms, exactly, exactly.
Because of the name.
I just didn't take the name that literally when they announced this show, that it is just going to be like a Knight's Tale, a Knight's Journey type of story, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and that's kind of what we're being treated to here, and I really enjoyed it. Like, yeah, I mean, it honestly has been a slow build, like a slow burn, like you've been saying every episode, and the runtime doesn't help in that regard. But I thought the pacing so far has been excellent, and I think as a result, each episode has been better than the last because they've been kind of adding in these new elements or story, like character development each episode. There was a big reveal halfway through the season with the last episode with you figuring out that he's a Targaryen, he's Aegon Targaryen. One of the descendants of the other Aegon Targaryens, as we found out Aeg was. And yeah, I just thought like there was like a shift in attitude from Duncan in this episode, like in terms of like he was kind of fed up at this point with like with it all, like with the whole situation in this episode. And like he was just like, okay, like I have to actually like, I have to do something now. Like he's kind of forced into this fucking situation. Like his back is against the wall here in this episode, right?
Yeah,
like,
you would hope, and you would hope not, right? I mean, first, just from the end of the last episode, I mean, you would hope that his back's not up against the wall. It is somewhat up against the wall right now, and I'd like to see where this goes from here, because I think it's not that it's just you're gonna get a lot of the fighting, you're gonna get a lot of the night stuff, but you're not gonna get like from royal blood and stuff like that. You're just gonna have your average day. At the end of the day, we still don't know if he was never a knight.
So we got to touch on that because there's a certain scene. Yeah, we'll get to that for sure. It sounds like you said you've seen this 3 times, right? I watched it twice. Shout out once again to Wiki of Westeros. They do have their notes up here for us here today, so I'm going to have a little bit of an easier time getting us through all the scenes here of the episode. Last week, shout out once again to Christina. She didn't have those notes available to her. They were kind of late to getting last episodes up there. Mm-hmm. This week, though, we actually got treated to an episode that came out on Friday, midnight on Thursday when it turned Friday. This episode got released 2 days earlier than it normally does. Because of the Super Bowl on Sunday. So we got a chance to watch this a little bit earlier. And yeah, so we got 2 more episodes to go. I know we kind of really did a bad job of probably promoting this episode, and we're starting a little bit later here tonight than usual, I should say. We did have some IT issues to kind of get in order. That's why JT is here in person here today. And I think next week when you see him again, if he's back at his place, he'll be coming through, I think, better in terms of his audio and his setup, right? So
that's all we can hope for with this stuff, right?
But I know I failed. Probably I didn't put a post out here today. Christina wasn't here to help us share that news out there. So we hope you guys catch this episode when it does air, though, and we'll be ready to talk about the next couple of weeks here, a couple of days after they air to close out the season. Really looking forward to that. That being said, though, let's get to the episode here. As I mentioned, this episode's name was 7, and it's a Night of the Seven Kingdoms, season 1, episode 4. And yeah, I mean, the name of this episode is pretty kind of straightforward, as they all have been. I feel like, it makes sense because of the what is it? Is the battle? It was not Battle of 7. What is it called? Something of 7 that he calls calls out in this episode, right?
Oh yeah, fuck. What the heck is it? It's in the top of my head.
Trial by combat. Trial of 7. Yeah. So the premise is, after landing himself in the Targaryen's crosshairs, Dunk exercises his right to request a trial by combat. But when Aerion insists on a trial of 7 instead, Dunk is faced with the daunting task of finding 6 others to fight alongside him. If it wasn't hard enough for this frigging guy, who doesn't know anybody there, like who's really just been picking up friends along the way, and thank God for that, because he would have been really screwed by the end of this episode if not.
Thank God who we picked up too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very interesting. So, all right, so let's get to it here. Synopsis. Dunk waits for hours in a prison cell inside Ashford Castle. which was a very cool opening in this one. Did you notice how they showed you it looked like this the sky, the night sky, and then it panned down, and really what he was staring at was the ceiling of the cell?
Yeah. Well, was it open or was it?
It's closed.
But it is the top, right?
Yeah, because at first they kind of showed you the night sky.
Like almost like cracking of holes and stuff.
But that's why, like, it kind of came more into focus, and it turned out to be the ceiling. It seemed like of the wall. I
thought it was the night sky, like because they would where they have them is in like an open like.
No, I think it was just a transition of them doing the night sky, and then it cut to it's actually the ceiling, and then it kind of panned down because it made it look like it was night, but really what it was he's just in a dark cell. You know what I mean? Like, so they cut it. The first shot was night, but I don't think it was him looking outside. I think it was just this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Unless I read it wrong.
Yeah, maybe they just removed the roof part. I just did it by visual. I wasn't really looking into that depth, but I thought it was just a night sky and then him pulling himself and panning into it where he is now.
Yeah,
stuck in the. He's in a room that's lit. So I mean, it could be just a reflection off the ceiling. I mean,
it was the ceiling he was looking at, is what I'm saying. They tried to make it look like he was looking at a night sky, and then really, when they try to show you that it was just really the ceiling that he was looking at.
Yeah.
Dunk waits for hours in a prison cell inside Ashford Castle after attacking Aeron Targaryen to defend Tanzell. Eventually, he is visited by Aeg, now dressed in royal finery and flanked by guards. Big switch up for him in this scene. Aeg commands them to set down a tray of food for Dunk and leave them. Dunk eats hungrily, and Aeg nervously says his uncle told him to beg Dunk's forgiveness for deceiving him. He's mad in this moment too, eh? Like he was real pissed off. It seemed like switched up on him quick here.
He was mad, but he was more
disappointed.
Yeah, because he thought he had a friend.
That's right.
The emotional expression on his face gave the anger, but still the
he thought they were having a joke at his expense. Like he's like, oh yeah, what is this? Something that you like to do? Like and people like and then he says like, wow, it's just a bit of bad luck that we really met each other in this situation.
Well, you would have become donkey. You would have been squire
to a donkey. Yeah.
But should we let the poor Targaryen?
Right.
Lord Targaryen, the Lord, let the poor little Lord down, right?
Right.
Like he was kind of in a sense, but I felt bad for Aeg too, because he genuinely had tears in his eyes.
Yeah, and he said, "I'm sorry, sir. Like I'm sorry I deceived you." Yeah,
that him talking to trying to get away from his drunken brother was going to get him in so much trouble, right?
He thought it was an innocent thing that he was doing. Meanwhile, yeah.
The brother's a dick.
Yes.
I got some questions about the brother too later when we talk about him.
It says
for everybody out there.
Dunk points out his uncle is in fact Crown Prince Baelor, heir to the Iron Throne. Aeg says he never meant to lie, which Dunk shoots back that he lied about everything, including his name, as he never heard of a Prince Aeg. The boy explains that it's short for Aegon, which is instantly recognizable as a Targaryen name. Dunk chides him by asking how many Aegons have been king by now, and he admits there have been 4 Aegons already who sat on the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
Aeg Targaryen slumps down to sit against the wall while Dunk asks as much to the boy as to himself. If it was all a cruel joke, a royal prince having some fun making a fool of a stupid lowly hedge knight. Aeg explains that he was supposed to squire for his older brother Daeron, who he bluntly describes as a shit knight and a drunk. And going back to the first episode, that's the guy that was in the inn. And good on you, because like I remember you had talked about whatever he had mumbled to him, which he brings up in this episode. So again, for like eagle eyes like listeners or like viewers of the show,
let's just say Raven Eye.
Yeah, sure. Look at this guy all of a sudden.
I know what I'm doing now.
But he mentions that in this about how he's seen him in a dream. We'll get to that later on. Very interesting stuff though, and that was said there too. Anyways, he was Daeron didn't even want to enter the tourney list, but only went to Ashford because their father Maekar pressured him. Daeron meant to hide at the end where Dunk first met him in the first episode, about a day's ride to the south until the tourney was over. Daeron has more dirty blonde hair, but Aeg's hair is classic Targaryen silver white, so Daeron shaved his brother's head to avoid notice. Yeah. Dunk counters by asking if it was Daeron and not him who lied, and told Dunk he was a stable boy. Tears start welling up in Aeg's eyes, and he stammers that he didn't think he was doing anything wrong, but Dunk interjects that of course he knew it was wrong, otherwise he wouldn't have lied. Aeg pleads that he just wanted so much to be a squire and was so disappointed when he couldn't go to the tourney. Dunk accuses that Aig was so set on finding a replacement for Daron that he'd have squired for a donkey if it would have taken him to the tourney. And Dunk meant nothing to him. Aig can only say he's truly sorry and that his uncle Baelor wants to see Dunk after he's done eating. Dunk gets up to leave immediately, saying that he's already kicked one prince in the mouth, so he shouldn't keep a second one waiting. Great opening scene.
It was, man.
Yeah.
You had some emotions going between the both of them. That's what I liked, the interaction, because they did become, it almost became like an older brother thing to him, I felt. And he was disappointed because now he's done something that he's got to fucking pay for, right? And it's all with his family, right? And he obviously cares about Aig. How are they going to care about him? Because they're, Aig likes him. He's telling his uncle, like obviously his pops isn't having it, right?
Yeah. But I've also been sharing in the group chat recently, like a lot of moments with these two people while they're not filming, just as actors and like human beings, like sharing moments. And now that I'm starting to get fed a lot of that kind of stuff again with the Game of Thrones on my algorithm, there's all these really nice moments of this kid. Like, this kid's awesome, like outside of the show. Like, it's really cool to see him and this guy getting along and having to do like, interview type stuff for promoting the show. And like, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff I think are in the episodes, like the making of episodes that they've been doing for this. And that I feel like I'm seeing clips from. And yeah, they're a really cool kid, this kid. So I really enjoy this character a lot now as well. So then he goes to Baelor's council. A guard brings Duncan Aig to Baelor, who is studying old law books in Lord Ashford's library. Despite being upset about the deception, Dunk's first words are to tell Baelor that Aig is a good boy and a good squire who meant no harm. Baelor says Aegon should have come to him when he saw what Arion was doing to the puppeteers. Aig tries to interject that there was simply no time, but Baelor continues that instead the boy ran to Sir Duncan and dragged him into this situation. Aig looks at the floor and solemnly says he wishes Dunk had killed Arion. Baelor insists that Arion is his brother, and the Septons say all must love their brothers, then bids the frightened boy to leave. So, this is where it gets serious, though. Serious talks here. Baelor starts by asking Dunk how skilled he is at arms. And Dunk admits that he had some basic training from Sir Arlen, but doesn't have years of training from the best warriors in the realm like a prince would have. Baelor stands and paces and informs Dunk that Aig's father, Maekar, returned to the castle a few hours ago, having found his son Daron drunk at the inn where Dunk found Aig. This is where it gets even worse for this guy. This is terrible.
This is where I feel even more bad for him.
And I really like this guy. Like, Baelor in this scene, like, he is understanding of the situation and he tries to help him out.
For sure.
But like, there's only so much he can do. Like, because he's
now he's playing the game though.
Right. Exactly.
The game is started.
This is where the Game of Thrones kind of comes into play, like the deception.
We're seeing some blackhead Targaryens.
Daron told Maekar that a huge robber knight made off with Aegon. Baelor knows that he was lying, and Dunk insists he left the inn alone, and Daron obviously remained at the inn instead of trying to pursue him. Dunk asks what happened to the girl, and Baelor says Arion is twisting the tale to accuse her of high treason and inciting revolt against the crown. Dunk is astonished as it was just a harmless puppet show. Baelor says the dragon is the symbol of the royal family, so this was unwise even in peacetime. Arion calls it a veiled attack on House Targaryen.
No.
Dunk asks if Baelor even believes that, but he changes the subject to say what is beyond dispute is he struck a prince of royal blood and it is never wise to strike a king's grandson. So regardless, he's like, I understand and I agree with you, but guess what? But you struck a prince. Yeah. So you only have a couple of options the way I see it right now. He gives them an ultimatum, essentially.
You're lucky if you keep your head.
Dunk angrily declares that Arion snapped the girl's finger in half and asks if Baelor would not have done the same in his place. Baelor admits he might have, but he is a prince and Arion's uncle, not a hedge knight.
Yeah.
Dunk asks him if all knights don't take the same oath to protect the innocent, to which Baelor looks away in silence, clearly bothered by this in this moment. And it makes sense later on, even more so, because he kind of he knows he's right.
He is right.
He knows he's right. Right. He knows he's right, but he can't say he's, you know what I mean? He can't openly admit that he was right in this moment, right? His silence it's enough, says enough, honestly. Like,
you know what, scene. Too, but it's also, I think it's to show that you have the balls, that you're still fucking loyal, like a royalty of some sort, right?
Right.
So I could see he's playing that over him too, just to remember that, hey, listen, I'm up here, so
Right.
you're down here.
Yeah, well, he says, I'm not a hedge knight,
Yeah,
so
you know
I
what I
have
mean? Yeah,
responsibilities that I can't fucking go back on
No, yeah.
as part of this family.
Yeah. Oh,
After
we'll see.
yeah, exactly. After a moment, Baylor says that Arion has demanded Dunk's head. He won't allow it, but even though he can ignore Daron's accusation that he kidnapped Egg, he cannot deny his right to trial for Dunk striking him. The punishment the last time a commoner struck a royal was to have the offending limb cut off. Dunk not only punched Arion, but kicked him, so he'd lose his hand as well. And his leg, for that matter's point. Baylor then sympathetically says that Dunk has another option, though he cannot say if it is better or worse. Rather than be maimed as a knight, Dunk can demand the right of trial by combat. As we've seen many times in Game of Thrones.
There's always some sort of combat somewhere.
Yeah. Your boy, Pedro Pascal. Trial by combat, remember, in Tyrion's place.
You know who kind of reminds me of him in a weird way is what's his face there? Is it
who?
What the fuck? What was this fat bastard's name in the one that the guy that they're drinking with, his Baratheon guy.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of flamboyant like he was. Yeah, absolutely.
He kind of gives
yeah.
me that Pedro Pascal vibe.
Yeah.
Character.
Like the way he gets drunk and he's like,
who's not up for a good fight, you know? And you know, like it. So
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
It's a Baratheon because
Lionel Baratheon.
Yeah.
The one that's in
Lionel,
this season.
Lionel.
Yeah, Lionel. Yeah.
I don't know about Baratheon. I can remember his first name because I know the symbol.
It kind of reminds you of Pedro's character back. Yeah. Kind of. I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
It just seems like such a like. I mean, I get where it's a Baratheon where he could be a party animal, that kind of shit. But you would think of Baratheon when you watch Game of Thrones, and you think just that fat, ugly Baratheon there, Robert, right? So you don't think of this, right? Like this guy's a party animal.
Well, it's nice to see different Baratheons, right? Robert was a party animal too, but he was just like a big fatso. Yeah, exactly. You know, this one's limber and he's dancing and he's like, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? He wants to dance.
No, I know.
Yeah. Just party.
Yeah.
He's got the right color for a night like this, you see.
Against a well-trained prince, he would be risking death in this situation, though, if he does demand the right of trial by combat. So here we go. Cut to a trial of 7 champions. Okay, so Dunk is then brought before a hastily convened trial board in the castle study consisting of Baelor, Maekar, Lord Ashford, and Leo Tyrell. Arion is also present, scornfully cracking nuts on the table with the hilt of his dagger, which this scene really provided one of the only funny parts in this episode is when he cracked the nut and that other guy went to go pick it up. He's like, remember, he goes like, yeah, go pick that up. And then the guy goes under the table and hits his head. His bitches, like these guys that are just like, he's like, go get that nut.
He's
for
just
me.
sitting there like this.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
You know, that's the way to do it, though.
What kind of energy is this guy giving? Is this Joffrey fucking energy here?
You know what? I see that, but I don't see him getting cast like that in that sense. Like he's an older character now in this, right?
Or if we had to compare it to another Targaryen, is this like Daemon Targaryen kind of like
but Targaryens
attitude?
are fucking messed up like that.
Yeah,
they have that attitude. It's like what's his name's brother? The one that fucking
House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
Daemon Targaryen. That's what I said. It's kind of like that kind of attitude a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah. That cockiness.
Yeah.
But also as like her uncles too as well. Like her uncle's got that with the blonde. What's his name there?
Which one?
From
House of the Dragon?
Yeah, House of the Dragons. Yeah.
The one that she's with.
Yeah.
Daemon. That's like
Daemon, but they also not just him, but the other one, the other brother.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, the kids. You're talking about her kids.
Is it the kids? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, the older dude. No, that dude was nice. The guy who died. The king, the guy who was the king at the start of House of the Dragon, his brother.
Yeah. Okay, no.
He was good. He was like one of the only good people on that show, honestly.
But yeah,
Damon is what you're thinking of. Yeah. Dunk nervously repeats that he chooses a trial by combat, only for Arion to say he refuses. Confused, Maekar tells his son he can't refuse Dunk's right to the challenge. Arion smugly responds that he instead invokes the trial of 7. Now, here's the thing. he was not counting on him to know about this guy. Eh?
I don't think he was. No, I don't think he was. I'm surprised he did his research.
Literally, his dad doesn't even know. He's what the fuck is the trial?
His dad's older than him. Yeah, like that was the best part, bro.
And then he just rolls his eyes. He's like, "Oh my god!" He's like,
"Basically, are you a pussy?"
He's like, "It's an ancient thing that hasn't been used." And like, yeah, exactly. He's like, "Are you telling me you don't want to fight this hedge knight? Like, what's wrong with you, boy? Like,
seriously?
Yeah.
Take him down yourself. You're gonna coward behind 7 other men."
Exactly. Yeah. So he's like, Baylor explains that a trial of 7 is an ancient. Yeah, Baylor didn't count on them knowing this. Explains that a trial of 7 is an ancient variation of trial by combat, seldom invoked. The Andals believe that if the 7 were honored by 7 champions fighting instead of only 1, they were more likely to intervene and lend victory to the just claimant. Maekar is displeased with his son, asking if he's such a coward he has to hide behind some obscure custom rather than face his lowly hedge knight in single combat, which is exactly what's going on with this request. Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
I mean, look at the size of this guy, unskilled or not. The guy is twice his size, right? So,
I don't care how much metal you're going to be wearing. Yeah,
right. Arion claims he isn't, but he'd like to make a show of Targaryen strength and power to the lords assembled at the tourney. Confused, Dunk asked if they seriously expect him to fight against 7 men alone, chiding him as foolish. Arion explains that the trial is 2 teams of 7 against 7. Dunk objects that he is a lone wandering knight and doesn't know anyone at the tourney, but Arion sadly says that if Dunk's cause is just, surely 6 other good men will volunteer to fight for him. Arion also says that if Dunk cannot find 6 other champions by dawn, that means his cause is unjust and Dunk forfeits the trial. Annoyed, Maekar drags Arion out of the room while Baylor gives Dunk leave to go search for his champions. This would be a real big kick in the nuts at this point, right? Like, first off, he doesn't even want to do the trial by combat. No. He's like, okay, I guess I have no choice, so we'll do trial by combat. Yeah. And then Baylor was counting on him to chicken out. Like, that's what he wanted. That's why, like, even when he said, he's like, I refuse. He's like, well, you don't have to if you say he's, like, off the hook. Like, right? Like, he kind of throws it out there because he wants him to take the bait. He's like, well, it's your choice. If you don't think it's necessary, then we'll forget this whole thing, right? And he just doesn't take the bait. He pulls out this ancient right of his 7 trial. Honestly, that's crazy. 7 on 7 trial by combat.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, I mean, sometimes I wonder how these guys can remember. Like, if their fathers who were the kings don't understand this and can't remember this folklore, basically is what it is at the end of the day, because they didn't really take it with them in that sense, meaning it was like a cheap way of losing.
Right. You know what's
way of winning. Sorry.
You know what's funny though? This is almost like, let's say we put this in terms by today's standards. This is like these people got together to watch this tourney, and it was, let's say it's the NHL All-Star game, and all of a sudden they're treated to the Stanley Cup final. You know what I mean? That's what's going on here. Yeah. These guys are getting quite the show all of a sudden. A 7 on 7 trial by combat out of nowhere in the middle of the tournament. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's awesome. I love that. So that's pretty crazy.
No, yeah. That would be fun. No.
Dunk returns to his camp in the hedges and apologizes to his horses.
How he gets there? It's like day. I mean, it's dry.
Oh yeah, he gets rained on the whole time.
The next scene rain, and then the next scene he's in the. So it did a quick 3 scenes as he's walking. The face never changes.
Yeah,
dripping.
Oh, he's upset. Right? Yeah.
He's just trying to think of what does he do now? What does he do next?
Raymond Fossaway then comes looking for him and takes Dunk back to the Fossaway tent. Raymond's cousin, Sir Stefan Fossaway, says that he resents the Targaryens as foreign tyrants and he will take Dunk's side to oppose them. That's where the Targaryens forgot. They're not very well liked, so some people would gladly join his cause just because they hate the Targaryens, right?
They're starting to see that with the Targaryens.
That's right.
Mean, this isn't the House of Dragon Targaryens that we're talking about,
right? This is like a very less depowered version of that.
Almost like the beginning of the end of the Targaryens.
That's right.
In that sense,
it is. I mean, literally, yeah.
Right.
So he resents them as foreign tyrants and he will take Dunk's side to oppose them. He also admits he isn't concerned about Dunk because cause being just, but winning fame and glory fighting against Targaryens in a rare trial of 7. So he's doing it for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Stefan then leaves saying he will look for 5 other knights. Raymond tells Dunk it may be wiser just to flee while he still can. Dunk points out that if he runs and is later caught, he will be killed. But Raymond says if he stays and forfeits, he'll definitely die.
Yeah.
With self-deprecation, Dunk wonders this is the god's punishment for him, not knowing his lowly place in the world. Aeg then enters the tent wearing a hooded cloak. He says he is Dunk's squire and he will need someone to arm him in the trial. Dunk asks if his father knows he left the castle, but another hooded figure then enters the tent and says he hopes not. He pulls back his hood to reveal himself as Aeg's eldest brother, Daron the Drunken. And this is his first like real official, well, I guess second, but we really just see him passed out drunk in that one scene in the end, right?
Yeah,
so
this one he's kind of hungover, it looks like.
Yeah.
he looks like he's pretty
worse
fucking
for
beat
wear.
up. Yeah.
Plus he
like
just got
beat up.
coming back from his father getting yelled out by him, probably too.
Getting some
right?
fucking kicks.
Yeah. Dunk immediately recognizes him as the drunk nobleman he encountered at the end where he met Aeg, seizing Daron and slamming him into a table for lying that he kidnapped Dunk. Daron says he had to tell his father something when he was caught, and at Aeg's pleading, Dunk relents. Aeg explains that his father has joined the 7 accusers to defend his son's honor and is making Daron join as well, though Daron says he'll help Dunk by immediately collapsing from the first blow he takes. So we got that going for us as well, if he says that he's going to basically bow out.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Daron also says that the 3 highly skilled Kingsguard knights already present in Ashford will also join. That's a problem. Kingsguard, he doesn't know who their 7th champion will be, but Aerion has more chance of finding one than Dunk has of finding another 5. Aeg says he begged Maekar not to fight for Aerion, but he refused, despite his contempt for Aerion's choice.
Yeah.
Dunk,
that was interesting how he was ready to kill him too, right there.
Yeah.
You know,
he jumped on him. That was quick.
Yeah, he was. And it's like, they can't kill me twice. Right.
This is what I was saying about his attitude changing in this episode, though, because like I don't want to see like
it's kind of going back and forth. He's still staying to the loyalness that he is and the type of person that he was probably brought up to be by whoever the the Knight of the Long Schlong, whatever his name was.
Arlen. Yeah.
Right.
The Knight of the Long Schlong. I like that.
You like that
one. Dunk worries that Aeg will be upset that he shall be facing his family, but Aeg explains that Maekar will be well protected by the Kingsguard while he openly wishes his brother Aerion to be dead. Aeg recalls that when he was little, Aerion used to come into his bedchamber at night and slip a dagger between his legs, threatening to castrate him so he'd have another sister to marry. He also threw Aeg's pet cat down a well, though he denies it. And as we know with Targaryens, he'd be down with that if she was a sister. Like he'd be like, I'm all for this. Right? Like he's literally like, I'll just marry you if you were a sister. I'll turn you into a woman. That's when what's his name? Fossaway starts laughing there, right? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like when he says about the thing about turning him into a girl.
Yeah. Who does that remind? That reminds me of what's the name that cut off his penis? From Game of Thrones. When we're going into my boy there.
Yeah.
Right.
Reek.
Reek, yeah. Reek.
Which isn't his name, but it's the name he's given during that period of time. Yeah. Daron agrees that their brother Aerion can be quite the monster. Aeg says Aerion is insane, believing himself to be a dragon in human form. Daron says he must sneak back into the castle, but first he would like a private word with Dunk outside.
Yeah.
As they stare at a campfire, Daron tells Dunk that he dreamed of him.
Yeah.
And this is the part where I was referencing earlier that, JT had mentioned that him mumbling shit at the end in the first episode. Dunk points out that he told him that before when he first saw him at the end, but he was too drunk to remember. Daron explains that his dreams are not like Dunk's. His dreams come true. Daron admits it is an impressive talent for an unimpressive man, but nonetheless, he saw Dunk in a dream before he first met him. He saw Dunk, a fire, and a dead dragon, a massive dragon whose wings were as wide as his entire meadow, as this entire meadow. The dragon had fallen on top of Dunk, but Dunk was still alive and the dragon was dead. Believing Daron's words, Dunk asks if he killed the dragon in the dream, but Daron says he doesn't know. Daron looks back at the fire and remarks that the Targaryens were dragon masters once, though it is hard to believe now. Yeah, see, they're in a bad way here right now, these Targaryens, right?
He's starting to see, like I'm starting to see with him that he's starting to have some visions. This is a kind of cool thing. Like I'm wondering where they're going with this too, right? Because this is where a lot of the Targaryen blood gets a little bit mixed up, right? When we're going with what do you call it? When we're going, now it's good. But when we're going with if we're playing along that same timeline as a Game of Thrones, now you're starting to see where the Targaryen blood gets mixed in and stuff like that with different stuff, right? And then maybe we're starting to see where my boy in the wheelchair comes. because he makes a comment about that.
No, this is far. It's far
dreams.
away.
No, but he's having dreams, right? And he said they're not like others, and it's kind of like he said there was a quote he said about not being kind of a useful gift,
Right.
but not for a useless person or something like that.
Okay.
Right. He had mentioned something like that because he felt useless himself.
Right.
Because he was just a drunk and nothing, you know what I mean? Especially because his brother's like all fire dragon, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
let's see here. Apologies if I'm freezing up a bit here too, guys.
It's only when you have one.
I got a lot of pages open to read this stuff too. I didn't print it out here today. So basically, he then says, he tells him that he turns to slink back into the castle, saying he knows he's already doomed to some kind of hell, probably one without wine. The dragons are all dead, yet the Targaryens remain, he says.
You know, it's funny. I thought we were talking about maybe there was supposed to be one of them still left in the beginning when me, you, and Christine.
There was talk about there being one left, yeah.
But it seems like what they're saying that there isn't.
I mean, that's what he says here,
right? Yeah.
Where are we here? So then we go to the Shield. After Daeron departs, Dunk heads to the Dornish puppeteers' abandoned tent. Their broken puppets are left where Aerion's men smashed them. As he thinks of Tenzel, the blacksmith, Steely Pate calls Dunk to his wagon, saying that if he came for his shield, she left it with him. Once inside, he asks what happened to her, and Pete says she and the other puppeteers are gone, already on their way to Dorne. Dunk is happy at this, as it means they have left before Aerion could order them captured and Tenzel is safe. He brings out Dunk's newly repainted shield. It is exactly the design he asked for and beautifully rendered, a green elm tree on a sunset orange background. It's cleaned up really nice. I mean,
it does look nice.
Yeah.
That tree is beautiful.
I mean, but let's not forget, he mentions here he also gave him a brand new shield, and I know how much you love the trees. So yeah, with a shooting star flying over it, he took an extra step and replaced the metal rim, which was rusted cheap steel, with the new one twice as thick and bands on the back to make it heavier and stronger. Beginning to cry, Dunk looks at the design and notes that the star is falling and sunset heralds night. Both are symbols of death, and he has brought death and ruin all around him. Pete puts a hand on his shoulder and points out that the elm is green, alive with summer leaves.
That's right. The elm is always alive, bro.
Steely Pete asks Dunk if he remembers the old shield rhyme that starts, "Oak and iron guard me well," and Dunk finishes, "or else I'm dead and doomed to hell." Dunk asks him how much he wants for the new rim and repairs, but with a stroke of his beard, he says, "From you, a copper."
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
He did that whole, that's why I was like,
well, he also,
I want my beard that long.
Well, he also, I feel like, he respected him for like protecting that girl too, like the puppeteer who was friends with him, right?
Well, he asked where she had gone, right?
Right.
They fled to Davos, I think. Eh?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So
remember, Davos is a place you can get lost.
Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah. So he says that she fled, and he's the one that kind of knew where she went. He spoke to her before, and she gave him the shield to give to him, right? Yeah, so he painted it, and he helped out. He gave it. He made a new shield. Like they both helped him out.
You know what it was? I thought the symbol too was a life and death thing. Like, you know, it could be either or, whatever way you look at it, because you know how he's saying the tree was still growing and fresh, and then he's thinking the falling star is doomed, right?
Yeah,
but it's not, right? You can either have one or the other, right?
Right.
I mean, his
death and rebirth.
Looking at him, I mean, and the stuff he has to wear, that seems more likely. But let's see where this is going. You know, Game of Thrones. I don't want to get attached to anybody.
That's right. So here we go. So at dawn, Dunk walks out to the mist-shrouded jousting tilts where the Trial of Seven is to be held. Now, first off, sick new armor. Like, he looks sick in it. Like, this guy finally looks proper. Listen,
it still looks like a hedge knight,
but still
has some steel
way
on
better. Yeah, it's just chainmail. It's not like it's chainmail. Yeah,
but take a bunch of barbed wire, put it like this.
Whatever. Listen, he looked better than he did. The guy was like in like bummish clothes before, like a bag, like he was wearing or something, whatever it was. So he like,
and I'm pretty sure that
look at the thing behind us here. Like, look at this. Like, you know what I mean? Look at the background.
Well, he's just basically got a shield over that now.
Right. Very true. So anyway, he looks better anyways.
Yeah.
He said he sees that several other knights have come to take his side. Humphrey Harding, That's the dude who got his leg crushed, of course. Humphrey Beesbury,
Yeah, when he got his fucking horse stabbed.
Robin Risling, and Lionel Baratheon. Dunk says he is in their debt. Harding says the debt is Aerion's. He is there to pay him back for killing his horse and breaking his leg. And while he cannot walk, he can still ride. The fanatically religious Sir Robin says this is the guy with one eye that we were introduced to before as well. Yeah. Thank God that kid knew him, or I guess recognized him that day.
Who's Sir Satsman?
Right. The fanatically religious Sir Robin says he would die the king's faithful servant, but when the crown goes against the gods, he goes against the crown.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
He fucking...
Dunk tells Lionel Baratheon he is thankful for him and for Sir Stefan for bringing him, which confuses Lionel as they were all brought there by Dunk's squire, Egg. He's like, who the fuck is Sir Stefan?
Yeah, who's that guy? Who is this guy? Yeah.
Lionel says he's joined because there has been a trial of 7 for 100 years, and he couldn't pass up, there hasn't been a trial of 7 for 100 years, and he couldn't pass up an opportunity to try himself against the Targaryen Kingsguard. See, this guy's always up for
it. Dirty up their white clothes. He was fucking down.
And he actually seemed sober this morning because it's early enough.
That's where I thought he looked like
I love this guy.
Pascal character the most. That way he came out with the kind of yellowish style.
This guy doesn't give a shit, bro. This guy's just down for anything. It's great. He's got a good energy about him.
Yeah, good sense of humor, good party. Like, he just wants to fucking kill some people. He knows he's a good knight, right?
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean?
After putting on his full set of new armor from Steely Pete, Dunk and his supporters walk out into the arena and see Aerion and his champions enter the opposite side. Dunk is confused to see there are only 6 of them and asks if Aerion couldn't find a 7th man. Sir Stefan Fossaway then walks up in full armor and bluntly asks, I want to punch this guy through the screen when this happens, man. Asks his cousin and Squire Raymond for his helmet. Good job on Raymond, though. I like what he did here. Stefan flippantly says he is Aerion's 7th champion fighting against Dunk. Aghast, Raymond says Stefan promised to support Duncan. He's like, what about honor, right? He's like, what honor? He's like, hey, listen, man, they offered me a lordship, right? He's like, where am I going to get another ship?
People trade shit for less.
Yeah. What a piece of shit.
Piece of junk, bro.
Stefan casually explains that Aerion promised him a lordship for his support, and men have been known to sell their honor for far less. Stefan still expects Raymond to fetch him his horse, but he shoves his cousin's helmet back at him and says to get it himself. As Stefan rides away to the other side, Raymond turns to Dunk and begs him to knight him so he can take his cousin's place. So this is the moment. Yeah, this is the moment. So there's hesitation in this moment, and he doesn't knight him because he might not be a friggin' knight, this guy.
Bro, because there's things...
Because Arlen probably didn't... Well, that's the thing. He's like, there's an oath.
And then he finally hears the ding and he's like, Saved by the Bell.
Because again, as is mentioned in Game of Thrones, because this is what Jaime does with Brienne of Tarth when he knights her. Yeah. Any knight can make a knight. Like, that's what he says. Like, she's like, but I haven't been knighted. He's like, I'll knight you right now. Like, remember that scene when he actually finally knights her and it's like a big deal? Like, because, she's a woman knight and there wasn't like women knights really. So this guy doesn't know the oath. Like well, here's the thing. He's flustered. Maybe he just was nervous. I don't know, but
because everybody was looking on, bro. I'm waiting to see if he's really playing this up.
So this has been a theory since the first episode. I said to you guys that at least I without looking into things.
No, it is. I don't even just watching the first episode.
You could tell that he's like faking this situation, faking it till he makes it, kind of thing.
Well, because he knew it was kind of when he was burying him. He was sitting there for a while, remember?
And it doesn't seem like he actually
when
knighted
he said
him.
That you were knighted, and you remember that comment?
Right.
That
he says that you're going to make me a knight, and he doesn't say anything back. He horks and spits off the horse. Yeah.
That's what I mean. So it's like, is he? And then that was another moment to show it.
If there wasn't anything more telling than this moment where he doesn't knight him in that right away, and then Lionel has to step in and be like, I'll do it. He's like, any knight can make a knight. I'll do it. Where that's
but the thing is, when he went up to make his speech coming up, he sounds and he talks about how annoying him is. That's what fucks me up.
He knows what a knight should be about, but that doesn't necessarily mean
he's been knighted.
Exactly.
Or he knows the actual words for it.
Unless like I said, he just stumbled in that moment.
Well, yeah.
But it doesn't help his cause. I'll tell you that right now. As a viewer, and there's been hints of other things in this season, even the egg thing about him being a Targaryen. Yeah. As a viewer, it doesn't really give me much. I'm just like, okay.
Well, we kind of know he's an orphan in the sense, right? That he was just somebody's squire, right?
But this whole time, people are saying we don't know if this happened. We can't prove it. They're saying to him, we can't prove whether or not he knighted you this whole time.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting passed because he was working his way in by getting a favor here, like a favor there. So up to this point, as far as anybody's concerned, he's a knight. But we don't know that for a fact.
Maybe we'll see him ask Edmund.
He was definitely a squire.
He
was definitely a squire, and
we
he's
know
definitely he knew that guy.
Yeah, and he did know how to fight. Like he knows how to. Like he said, he's showed him basic battle
Right.
skills, right? Because the old man probably had to practice on him, right?
Like this guy's all heart at this point, and no actual like.
He's in survival mode,
Right.
Right. Like
I don't know. It didn't.
He's a one man crew, right?
It didn't fare well not seeing him knight him just right away. There, I was just like, okay.
But that's why in the beginning of this episode, when he says you knew it was a lie, otherwise you wouldn't have lied. You knew it wasn't right, otherwise he wouldn't have lied.
See,
now is he put himself in that same predicament?
That's what I'm saying.
Lied, right?
This whole time, as the viewer, we're supposed to believe that this guy's a good guy.
Yeah.
But is he also guilty of this sin, a sin as well, and by lying to people and saying that he was a knight because he had to do it in order to survive or get a leg up in the world?
Yeah.
Which who could blame him for that?
No, not
right. Like
that's in a time like this.
I wouldn't hold it against him, but like let's be honest here, right? I don't know.
You know, maybe this is maybe his way of playing the game,
right? So he basically just didn't do anything in that moment, but I'll jump back into what it said here. So Stefan rides to the other side. Raymond turns to Dunk and begs him to knight him so he can take his cousin's place. He may only be a moderately trained squire, but unlike Stefan, he can give his honor, as without him, Dunk's side only has 5 men. Raymond drops to his knees in front of Dunk, who puts his hand on his hilt, but then hesitates to draw it out and says he can't. He was probably being like, he says he can't.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like
he won't.
Right.
Yeah.
He literally says he can't.
Yeah. And nobody picked up on it.
Right.
Well, nobody maybe heard him. Maybe he just said it. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Lionel kind of was like, yeah, I'll take care of this. Like it seemed like he came to his aid there.
Watch us find out that Lionel kind of in the back of his head has a hint too.
Right.
Right. And he's gonna, come on.
Right.
I haven't looked any.
Me neither. No, this is just. These are just
guesses,
theories.
Right?
These are theories. Yeah.
Right. Because Lionel, he's a lot smarter than he lets himself.
Seeing Dunk hesitate, Lionel tells him to go on to the judges while he gives Raymond his knighthood. Just then, horns announce that Lord Ashford and the rest have reached the royal viewing box.
Yeah, that's when they send them up. That's when he sends them. I'll do it. Right.
As Dunk rides away, Lionel taps his sword on Raymond's shoulders, charging him in the name of the warrior to be brave, in the name of the father, charging him to be just, in the name of the mother, to protect the young and the innocent. Yeah, Dunk doesn't hear the rest as he approaches Lord Ashford. Okay.
What's the rest?
The nobles' viewing stands, I don't know. The nobles' viewing stands from the tourney are now filled again, and hundreds of commoners are gathered around the other side. When he approaches Arion taunts that Dunk has only 5 champions, though Dunk corrects that he has 6 because Raymond is being knighted as they speak. Dunk asks to fight 6 against 7. Arion smirks that it is not permitted, and Lord Ashford agrees the rule is if he cannot find a 7th champion, he forfeits and is found guilty. Dunk begs to give him a moment to address the large gathered audience, and Lord Ashford grants it. Best scene of the whole episode here, by the way. I honestly, Jay, I'm not even lying to you. I almost shed a tear in this moment. Like, that's how pumped up this got me. Like, or I'm just like, all right, who's going to come to this guy's defense here? Like, this is do or die at this point, right?
But then they get your blood rising. They slow it down.
So we thought there would be no fart or shit jokes in this episode, but you guys were wrong if you thought that.
Yeah, it seems serious.
We didn't get it in the cold open, but here we go. This killed me too. Like, it made me laugh, but I'm like, oh my God, so brutal.
Yeah.
After a tense silence finding his word, Dunk rides back and forth addressing the lords and knights in the stands. He says he knows they don't remember Sir Arlen of Pennytree or him, Arlen Squire, but they served many of them honorably over the years. Sir Arlen was a good man, and he taught Dunk how to be a knight, not just with sword and lance, but with honor. His voice almost breaking, Dunk shouts that a knight defends the innocent, and that's all he did. Dunk says he might not have been Arlen's blood, but he followed his example, as the Lord's son will follow theirs. Dunk finishes asking who will stand and fight with him. Otho Bracken rises for a moment as if to join. Who, like, this guy looked like Jason Momoa size looking
That's what I was
dude.
gonna say.
Yeah,
He had that reference, like it kind of it brought me back to fucking
yeah, to him at the start of the Game of Thrones,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, he stood up as if to join, only to then pass gas to mock Dunk's plea.
Bro, he just let one.
That was brutal. When he ripped one, and they all just started laughing at him.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I thought it was over there for a second. I'm like, oh no.
It was too funny. But there's that one girl there too. Who is that keeps looking?
I think she's like she must be like the princess or something.
Or
no,
is she Lannister?
I don't know
because I don't know because
she's Ashford. She's one of the Ashford people. I think
I've been trying to pay
Lord
Ashford colors and stuff like that.
Lord Ashford's daughter or something. The ones that are running the tourney.
Because I've been trying to pay attention to colors too and stuff like this, right? Like remember where they had the stuff in the Game of Thrones with the green and the red?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
she was wearing white. Oh, wasn't she?
She had like green with some like a yellow gold on her, right? And Targaryen got the red, right?
The highborn viewing stands erupt in laughter while the crowds of commoners remain deathly silent.
Yeah.
After their laughter subsides, Dunk angrily shouts, asking if courage has deserted the noble houses of Westeros. He refuses to believe it. Dunk finally shouts, "Are there no true knights among you?" Right? One final time. He is met with silence across the entire field.
He's probably shitting his pants right now.
A moment passes. I was shitting my pants watching this. Never mind. Suddenly, all turn when they hear the main tourney gates being opened, and a rider in Targaryen armor comes out of the mist. The rider removes his helm, revealing himself to be none other than Crown Prince Baelor. He declares that he will take Sir Dunk inside. I was like, yes. I was like, fuck yeah, when that happened. I was really excited by seeing him. I was like, but it's because of what he said to him. He got to him, bro.
Well, bro,
you know what? He got to him with what he said about being a knight.
Yeah.
He got to him.
Truth, though. That's why aren't we supposed to? But this is where I think how the Targaryens started to split, bro. Like, there was Targaryens that didn't give a fuck,
right? And then there was others that
actually gave a fuck,
and that's why there was all the infighting in between the family, which we already saw in House of the Dragons. Yeah. They're at war with each other. Yeah. They're literally at war with one another in that show.
Yeah, and then you're seeing both sides of the Targaryen. You're seeing the dark haired, you're seeing the light haired.
Have you ever thought you had a family that was bad and were beefing each other? Look at these guys.
They're all in. Well, I mean. I'm from down east, so yeah, I'm probably inbred too.
Families, listen, there's a lot of infighting in families too.
Infighting,
yeah. The crowds of commoners erupt into cheers while the shamed lords in the viewing stands awkwardly rise to their feet in respect. Maekar rides up to his brother and asks if he has abandoned his senses. This man attacked his son Aerion. Baelor responds that this man protected the innocent, as every true knight must. Baelor says the gods will now decide whether he was right or wrong. And the episode ends.
Just ends, cocksucker.
Great episode.
Always, leave you on the cliffhanger.
Great episode.
You know when it's going to end because it just stops because your heart's there and it lets you hang for a second because you're so like it's got you so juiced and ready to go, right? Like I mean, and it's so on things side. It's on what's his name? Aerion's side is his name? Aerion, right? Yeah. On his side, so he's got his old man. Right, fighting. He's got him. He's got who else? Three of the Knights Guard.
And then he needs two more. And then Fossaway. And they're probably one less now because he joined their side.
Fossaway, are they one less, or is it?
Because it was Fossaway.
His brother that he's making.
It was Fossaway. It was it was Daeron.
He goes. He just hit me on the side of the head.
Daeron, his father, Aerion. So him and his two sons, other than Aeg.
Yeah.
3 Knights Guard and Fossaway. Yeah. So he was.
He said to Duncan.
So Baelor was never involved. Baelor was never involved. Yeah. So here, I just want to show this picture. If I'm freezing up here, just give me a second. I'm just trying to bring something up. Here, I wanted to show this. So this was Otho Bracken. This is the guy that farts in the stands.
Yeah, tell me he doesn't look like Jason Momoa.
He does a little bit. That's what I was.
But they all kind of look like that, really. I mean, they don't have fucking hairdressers, so it's not like they're gonna cut their hair.
Right. And I just wanted to. So this is a first appearance of this character. I'm trying to see if there's any information on him.
So, I mean, all these guys got better teeth than me too. How the fuck is that
possible? Duncan the Tall spots Otho practicing for the jousting together with Lord Pearson Caron in the book. Yeah, I guess he's just like a throwaway character. This guy doesn't really say too much about him here. Yeah, doesn't really say any. Eric Nolan is the guy who portrayed him. Oh, Culture Rivermen. Who the hell is that? The Rivermen, apparently known as the Brute of Bracken.
The little crab guys end up being.
Oh, affiliation, House Tully.
Oh, so
Tullys are the mother. The mother. Isn't she a Tully? The one with the moon door. Those are Tullys.
And the one that became a maester. Isn't that that's the name? No, that he's not the boy.
She was a Tully. I think we talked about them already, the Tullys in this. Born in Stonehenge, he's Sir Ortho Bracken. Yeah, House Tully. So I think House Tully is like the.
Isn't that where Reek came from?
No, I don't. Is it?
I thought so.
I can't remember. The ones are the seas. The sea is that why House Tully? Yeah, the fish. The fish is the yeah.
The squid.
Their seed is River Run. Yeah, okay, it is now. You're right.
So
I mixed them up. Yeah,
I know.
See, this is why you need your book here, bro.
Well, you know what I mean. It really, because I think I'm starting to see where all that stuff is where this is kind of lining up with some of the stuff that we watched in Game of Thrones, guys. And if you went back to if you go back and watch our discussion on Game of Thrones, I mean, you can see where it's starting to line up now, and it's starting to become fucking really interesting.
House Tully of River Run, Lord Paramount of the Trident in Game of Thrones, defined by key members during the War of Five Kings. Lord Hoster is heir Edmure, daughter Catelyn Stark. Yeah, it's his mother, Stark's mother. Yeah, that's what I said.
Which
Catelyn Stark's
Tully.
His mother, the mother, like all their mother.
Okay, but who are you saying?
She was Tully. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
The mother was Tully. Lisa Aaron from the Moon Door. It is the Moon Door people. It's not Reek.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and brother Brynden, the Blackfish. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe they're all part of the. No, that's something different. He's somebody else.
That's Tyrell's, I think. Tyrell.
No,
that's Tyrell's.
No, but this is Stark and yeah, okay. So that's the Moon Door people. Yeah, Lisa Aaron. She was. Hold on.
Oh, that's the tit. No, that's the tit woman. No,
Theon Greyjoy. The Greyjoy. No,
yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Greyjoy. Right? His was what house? House Greyjoy of Pike. It's House Greyjoy of the Iron Islands. Okay, so that's not the Tully.
It is.
It is. You're right, but Tullys are. I was thinking of Stark and the Moondor people, all those people. Yeah, because you got to remember they're all from a region, but then they also have where their houses are because they're just different.
Tyrell's the black guy.
Because you know how like Casterly Rock is not technically where King's Land. You know what I mean? Like that's their home. Like the Lannisters, like that's where they lay their head.
Yeah, it's like.
But when they're in power, they're in the King's Landing or whatever. When they're actually part of the kingship at that point. But then if they go back to where their area is, it's like their house is Casterly Rock, right? Yeah. So like that's all different. So like really, where they, But this is Tully is Stark is his mother.
Casterly Rock was really roughed up after in the Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It was beautiful, but then they ran out of money, right?
Yeah.
But anyways,
this is crazy too because if fuck man, I can only imagine for people that actually read the books and stuff like that and are getting this kind of sort of.
He's from the Riverlands. This guy, yeah. Well, that's why I kind of wanted to drill into this guy, this small character we see farting. I was like, "Where's this guy from?" Because these guys all. Like if you look them up, they all have history of that was rated for
especially
them, right?
If they have a name in the episode, right?
Right. So let me just see if there's any interesting behind the scene tidbits. But otherwise, that's it for this episode. Let me just take a look here.
But yeah, no, I mean, now I'm starting to see like it brought me back to, like I said, talking with the with the old man, hearing about that whole. Where he was brought up. He was brought up in one of the episodes in the first or second season, right?
In terms of Aegon's placement in the current Targaryen family tree, he is the fourth son of King Daeron, the Good's fourth son, Maekar. Aeg is at the bottom of the royal succession. His father, Maekar, is 7th in line for the throne, making Aeg 11th in line, technically 10th if his older brother Aemon chose to renounce his vows as a maester. As for how Maekar is 7th in line, Daeron the Good had 4 sons, Baelor, Aerys, Rhaegal, and Maekar. The middle brothers were mentioned by name in the second episode, in which Baelor's son and heir Valar was also introduced on screen. In the books, Baelor has a second son named Madaris. Eris is childless, and Rhaegal has one son. See, they have all kinds of like different
backgrounds.
Just relatives, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
No, they
Okay, in the inside the episode video, they explain that across different takes, he tried out a few variations on how Dunk reacted to seeing Aeg at the start of the episode. So they tried a few different approaches, apparently, for filming it. The first time he sees him again after revealing his true identity, in some takes he was very angry.
Yeah.
In others, he was guilty about how angry he was.
Yeah,
what he eventually worked out with was to play it more that Dunk is angry at himself for being so naive. So at least they tried a few different like things to kind of like to see what stuck the best.
Because at the end of the thing, yeah, he kind of shook the way he shook his head. He's like, I can't believe I fell for this.
Right.
Like, how am I so naive to fall for to think he had a friendship with a little kid, or that there was somebody there that just wanted to be a squire.
Aeg's eldest brother Daron reveals to Dunk that he has inherited the Targaryen bloodline's propensity for prophetic dreams, also known as dragon dreams. Which, if we got to look back at House of the Dragon and Daemon and everything, that was something that was going on in House of the Dragon too. Yeah. He was having visions.
He's having fucking visions. But remember, we thought it was he's tripping out from the fucking everything.
Now they're trying to give you some context to that, saying that it's a family trait, apparently, of some members.
Yeah, it's all the incest, straight up. But no, they that's what I mean. And you know what I thought was fucking hilarious, and I actually giggled like Edmund did when poor Aeg goes and tells him that his brother would cut off his balls and have sex with him.
Right.
I had to make another sister have sex with him. I was dying, bro.
That was funny.
I laughed. I giggled like Thing did. Right? We have to have that kind of humor.
Yeah. Maekar says that a trial of 7 is a 6,000-year-old Andal custom. In the first episode, Lionel Baratheon said that their ancestors, the Andals, had been jousting in the lands around Ashford for 4,000 years. This is not a contradiction. The Andal invasions were really a long historical era spanning many centuries. The Andals first landed on the east coast of Westeros after crossing the Narrow Sea and only reached the western regions many generations later. So there's some little history there.
Who they're related to.
Lionel says that there hasn't.
Andals were the gods, right?
Lionel says that there hasn't been a trial of 7 in 100 years, which is also stated in the novella. The last known trial of 7 in the books was fought by Maegor the Cruel, but closer to 160 years before this.
Just closer to the end of the House of Dragons, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. Martin wrote about Maegor's trial of 7 after this novella. Sorry, George R.R. Martin wrote about his trial of 7 after this novella. So it's not clear if this is a if this is a retcon or they were meant to be the same trial. So that's interesting. Baelor says that a person who struck one of the blood royal would lose his hand. This punishment is mentioned once in the show indirectly and once in the novels. In the episode The Old Gods and the New, during the riots in King's Landing, now this is in Game of Thrones, Tyrion strikes Joffrey, then says sarcastically, "Now I've struck a king. Did my hand fall from my wrist?" And in the Storm of Swords, I guess this is the book, during Tyrion's trial, Oberyn says, in the days of the Targaryens, a man who struck one of the blood royal would lose the hand he was struck him with.
But you know what it almost sounds like? Okay, the families get so powerful and then they become so like useless at the end, and then they have their fall. It's just like it's weird. They're not the only ones. The Lannisters did the same thing. They kind of went up to their peak,
right?
And then it was like, oh, what do we do from here? Now we, then you got to slowly try to figure out where you're going to go from there, because you're only going to, once you get to the peak, you're only going to go downwards after, right? You start to spiral,
right?
This
is kind of interesting here too. There are actually several parallels between Aerion's actions and Cersei in the books, along with Joffrey. So here we go. Baelor says that while he won't allow Aerion's accusations of treason to behead Dunk, he undeniably struck a prince of the realm in front of a public crowd, and Aerion can still insist on the ancient punishment of cutting off the hand and foot that struck him. In Game of Thrones Season 1, The King's Road, and in the book chapter, after Arya's direwolf bit Joffrey, Cersei demands that the girl be punished for attacking a royal prince. Remember this? In A Feast for Crows, the book, Jaime reveals to his training and drinking partner additional information about the incident. Cersei outright demanded the old penalty that one of Arya's hands be cut off, but Robert refused and told her she was cruel and mad. Later that night, Cersei slept with Jaime and demanded him to maim or kill Arya. Jaime finishes the story with, "It was only by chance the Stark's own men fought the girl before me.
A Feast for Crows
Found the girl before me."
Was the episode a
Feast for Crows is the book.
Is the book?
Yeah.
It's an actual part of the Game of Thrones series?
It's one of the books.
Yeah.
According to Egg, Aerion killed his pet cat by throwing it down a well. This vicious animal abuse is also typical of Joffrey, who killed his brother's pet, a fawn, and also several cats. He also seriously threatened to kill Tommen's pet cat, Sir Ponce. There you go. So
he threw him down the well.
Yeah.
I swear.
So again, a lot of parallels between Game of Thrones and like similar actions, right, between characters is what they're trying to point out here.
You kind of almost got some too that from House of Dragons too, because you're kind of right stuck in the middle, right, dab in the middle. So you don't know where, because we haven't seen that yet, end of the House of Dragons, and we haven't seen the end of this yet either, so we don't know, and we know basically where it is along the timeline without getting into any sort of like craziness, like without diving deep. But like I'm starting to see it just from remembering what I've watched before already and watching this show, right, and having little discussions with people.
When Dunk is talking to Stefan about asking for other knights to volunteer, he mentions Sir Otho, which is the guy in the crowd. So he actually mentioned him in that scene. So I guess like him standing up like wasn't totally unexpected. We just didn't know who he was at that point. This refers to Otho Bracken, who has a slightly larger role in the novella. 3 years ago, he bludgeoned Lord Quentin Blackwood to death in a tourney melee, reigniting the ancient feud between House Bracken and House Blackwood. For this and his large size, he is known as the Brute of Bracken. So that is like a character of some note.
That carried on into Game of Thrones too, that war, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He also mentions Lord Lannister. This is in fact the Lord Daemon Lannister that Dunk recalled by name in the second episode, if we remember seeing him in this series. He actually did appear on screen at the Night Joust, played by a stuntman wearing a helmet. Daemon is the great-grandfather of Tywin Lannister. There you go.
Wow. Great-grandfather
of
Tywin, which was the old man.
Yeah. The father.
Yeah. King at the time.
Lionel Baratheon's armor is in similar style to Brienne's original armor in Game of Thrones. Costume designer Michelle Clapton.
What? Whose armor?
Lionel's. It's similar in style to Brienne of Tarth's.
But it's okay.
The costume designer explained the idea behind it was that Brienne couldn't find a full suit of armor that fit a woman's figure, particularly a tall woman, because she doesn't have a very shapely figure, but still has wide hips. Thus, Brienne mixed and matched different pieces from old sets of armor to make a full set that fit her better. Tarth is in the Stormlands, so the implication was that Brienne's armor looked different even from other Baratheon vassals because she mixed pieces from an old, this is really nerdy shit, this is cool, from an old regional Stormlander style. In this TV series set 90 years before Game of Thrones, that is the current armor style in the Stormlands, the kind that would be worn by the Baratheons themselves as the wealthy ruling house.
Oh, you know what? With you know what? It makes sense, sort of the way it flares at the top. And
I'm gonna have to look at pictures of this now online. Like
I'm trying to think of Robert's family and their
but it also goes from where
they're wearing. She was part of them.
Yes,
I know that.
Yes.
I know how that.
That's what I'm saying. You got to remember where she's from. Yeah. So she used a bunch of different.
Not part of that family, but she's part of that.
She served on. Yeah. Remember, she bounced around from who she served with during that whole period of time. Yeah. Okay. So that's super interesting. That's cool.
That's got to be book things.
No, this is the TV. No, but this is the talk. Well, no, but the
dress. I mean, I know the show. Sorry, the clothing looks like it, yeah, but that's gotten to detail from, like they're getting into detail not only from the show, but
Simon Brindle worked as the armor designer across all 3 current TV series in the world of Westeros, and in fact designed Brienne's original armor.
Nice.
So he also designed Aerion's armor in this series. So
And
there you go.
He's designed
So the
Baratheon's armor and
designer of these armors has worked on all 3 shows. So there is a continuity of even the people working on the shows. That's cool.
Yeah, the ages changed, but yeah.
That's cool. This
the
episode This episode leaves out a few lines from the book explaining why Humphrey Beesbury joined Dunk's side. He is, in fact, the brother-in-law of Humphrey Harding, who sided with Dunk because Aerion dishonorably killed his horse and broke his leg. The two of them are seen jousting against each other early in the preceding episode. In the book, they broke no fewer 12 lances against each other. Yeah, so he's just there along for the ride, essentially. When Baelor appears to join Duncan's side at the end of the episode, he is actually wearing his son Valar's jousting armor. Several lines were cut from the novella. At first, everyone in the crowd assumes that he actually is Valar. Baelor then lifts his visor and explains he has had to borrow his son's armor, which doesn't fit him well. I guess he just didn't fit this into the context of the show.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't intended to take part in the tourney, so he didn't bring his own armor with him. So there you go. There's some extra interesting facts about the episode. Very cool. That Brienne of Tarth armor thing was really neat to learn, honestly. Like that.
Now I can see it now because I'm picturing the way she was designed. Like it was like more fitting here as it was more.
Hold on a second. Before we wrap up, I'm going to try to bring up his armor here. I want to see
because
this. Lionel Baratheon.
Lionel Baratheon, it was here and then higher up here.
Yeah, his armor looked nice. Like I remember.
Up like almost like a tree. And it said, because they have the Baratheon symbol there, too, right? I'm pretty sure it's part of the oak tree.
Okay, hold on here. Let's share the screen here. So that's his armor. Okay, you see that there?
Yeah,
okay, that's his armor right there. There we go. There's a better picture of it right here.
Yeah,
this is on Facebook though. Yeah, this one right here though, as you can see, like the full armor. Okay, let me.
It does almost look.
That's like a brightened picture of it, but yeah, that's basically it right there. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at Brienne now of Tarth. Tarth armor. Okay. I see. I got to do a side by side. Hold on.
With the dressy style thing on the side, like that kilt style.
Yeah, there's certain parts that are like the shoulder. No, not really the shoulders. It's the arms.
Yeah, the arms here.
The arms. Yeah. Because if you look here, I'm trying to bring this up here. Hold on. Brienne of Tarth armor versus Lionel. I'm sure someone has that. Baratheon armor. Is there like a comparison right there?
First one. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Very much.
Yeah. That is. Hold on. Let me close this one.
I mean, hers looks a little bit more cheap made, but yeah. But it was also how long ago too, right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me bring this up here.
The material itself, but like what they're using, right? Maybe the stuff they need to design it nice.
Yeah, but it is like the shoulder piece is similar there, and the metal part. Yeah. Obviously, the bottom's different that she's got going on here, but
the basic
but yeah, there, right? yeah, it's very much the same.
But you see how they have the horns there?
Yeah. Well, no, we're not talking about the helm. We're talking about the armor itself, like on that. Yeah, very interesting. Wow. So there you go. We nerded out on that one. That was very interesting to learn. I learned something new every time. So there you go, guys. That's
you can get really into depth with this thing. It sucks. That's what I mean. Like if they wanted to do a whole fucking. That's why I'm surprised they fit a lot of that shit that we just talked about into half an hour.
I know,
right?
Well, there's all this other stuff.
I mean, but acting, a lot of that acting was visual too as well. So I mean, you've seen a lot of emotion and character as opposed to wording in that sense, because you're getting a lot less of that, obviously, right? When it comes to this show, because it's less runtime, so you got to have quicker scenes. Quicker things going on and quicker things happening, but they're filling it through a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and they're making you want to go and first of all, wait till next week. And
next week's episode is called "In the Name of the Mother." It appears to be so. That's the episode for next week, which is episode 5 of season 1.
The original time, like this one we got this one.
Early, so you had to wait a little bit longer for this next one. So welcome back. Welcome us back here again next week. Make sure to tune in. You can be sure to catch us here along with Christina as well. Next week, I think we might be recording on Tuesday night next week. So, check the Instagram account if anybody still follows Late Night Chat Network. I'll make sure to post it on there. Also, a handy way of doing it is to hit the notification bell, everybody, on YouTube. The notification bell under this video, if you want to be notified to your phone or wherever you watch these videos, it'll give you a little notification of when we go live or when we put out an episode. It's just a good way of not having to look up constantly when the episode's out. But we probably will go live 9:15 next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, to discuss the 5th episode with Christina back with us again, and me and JT along with her. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Last episode.
I know, but we'll be back. We'll be back again later this summer to discuss House of the Dragon. I can't wait for that to come back too. So
I'd like to see more, man. I'd like to see them just keep filling in time with different shows. I don't mind mixing it around in my head because it's fun to mess with, right? Because I mean, you got so many time gaps, and I mean, I hear these books, and there's so many different books and little side stories to this thing that's still, and then, I mean, we obviously know it still hasn't even been finished, right? So
no,
I mean, there's still, we don't even know.
I mean, he's pulling from novellas now. This is not even the main series of Game of Thrones anymore, right? Because the last book hasn't come out, but the whole reason behind that is I feel like it was so negatively received from the show that now he thinks he wants to change the end to it, right? Because apparently
you might want to backtrack on.
Well, apparently he worked with the people that did the last season and told them essentially what he had planned for the ending of the book. And then when it wasn't very well received, now people are afraid the only reason he's not finishing it is because of that reason. And now he might have to rewrite a whole new ending because apparently people hated the ending. Well, that's what I mean.
Another tale of something.
Well, that's what I mean. But the problem is this guy has to fucking write this book before he dies already, right? Or we're just going to be left with the show's interpretation of things.
Well,
that's what I mean.
Imagine him fucking with us like that. The way the show goes, the way they play us out in the show, and the way they leave us hanging and everything with everything, I wouldn't be surprised if he did that with the books.
So we'll see. We'll see.
It's the crazy mind of
George R. Martin. Yeah, I'm all here for any spinoffs, though. Honestly, like this spinoff has been pretty successful, in my opinion. House of the Dragon has been great. So, if they want to continue doing little spinoff shows in this world and telling different stories, that's fine. I mean, that will more than make up for whatever ending people thought they hated. The reason they hated the ending of Game of Thrones, right? At least they can tell. They have other opportunities to tell other stories.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's just like, if you're not going to go back and fix the mistakes you made, which, they can't obviously now, it's that tale's told, do other stuff. Right.
That's what I mean. I'm thinking that there might be more in between. I mean, we got 3 seasons of this. We got one more of the other one. Who knows what might come from this one too, right? And another producer, director's mind, right?
Right.
So let's see. Let's hope.
So yeah, that's going to do it for this week of Watching the Throne, episode 96, as we inch up to 100 episodes there, closer and closer. By the time we start House of the Dragon this summer, we will be at 100 episodes for Watching the Throne of coverage of us basically talking about every single episode of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and now A Night of the Seven Kingdoms thus far. So this has been a lot of fun. And as I mentioned, Christina, should be back with us again next week, and we hope she's well out there as well. And we'll have to hear our thoughts on this episode because there hasn't really been much chat. I don't know if she's actually seen it yet or not. There hasn't been much talk in the chat from her. I know she's been busy this week, so I'd be interested to hear what she thought because for me, this is hands down the best episode, and I really got hyped up for what's going to happen next. Honestly,
me too, buddy. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for war.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
All right, that's
going to see how much of a knight this guy can really be.
That's going to do it all for this episode then, guys. Are Watching the Throne. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos. And if you're new to Game of Thrones, like I said, we've done coverage for all of the shows, so you can go back. You can watch our opinion on the show episodes as we did it in real time alongside your watch. And Jay's as well. That was Jay's first time ever watching Game of Thrones when we did those. Those shows are an honest reaction from Jay in real time of watching those episodes. So the fact that I got to experience that, knowing everything that had happened along the way. I remember when you almost got it spoiled. Well, it kind of was spoiled for you that Jon died, I remember. And then
but I mean, at the end of the day, I started with the House of Dragons first.
You
remember?
did, yeah, which was weird because I was like, how do you start with that?
But I mean, even though it's
chronologically, it's the first.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's just funny. You know, also I've learned you're not the only one that
I did the first, and then I did.
No, apparently
I did the
you're not
third.
the only one that's entered Game of Thrones fandom that way.
House
Like
of
there's
Dragons.
people that first discovered it or started watching it with House of the Dragons, and then I've gone back and watched all of Game of Thrones.
Well,
So it's interesting.
I told you, man. At the
Yeah.
end of the first season of the House of
You were
Game
all
of
in.
Thrones. No, at the end of the first season, I almost
House
wanted to say "fuck off."
Oh, because
After
of
they did that,
Ned. Yeah.
what I
So
mean?
did I. So did everybody
I
that
think
watched the
everybody-
show.
Yeah, you guys were just saying that.
You're
I
like the
remember.
only good person that was on the show died. I was like, why would I want to watch this? Yeah.
And I gotta watch fucking little teenager throwing a tantrum all the time.
Right.
You know? Poor guy,
But here
I
we
mean-
are now talking about a Knight's Tale here. This
Yeah, almost 100 episodes later.
So there you have it, guys. We'll end the stream here. Thanks again to everybody. Shout out to Christina. She'll be here next week. And
Can't wait.
like and subscribe, everyone. We'll see you next time. Later.
Peace out.
Welcome to the show, everybody.